All right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to see what the collective message is. Just so you guys know, I actually recorded a couple of other videos, almost an hour's worth, actually, and they're all still processing. So I will release those when I can, probably not until tomorrow. They were some interesting messages for sure. But I thought, let me go live and just see what we get. So we have a Seven of Swords. We have an Ace of Swords. Lies versus truth. Hi, everyone. So great to see everybody. All right. Lies versus truth. This could be, obviously, we have a divine feminine, and she may be trying to ask herself, let me get centered, let me get grounded, and let me get to the truth of what's really happening, or how do I really feel? Because we see her like in this energy of alignment in order to then make her real decision. She maybe, sometimes we tell ourselves a storyline, we give people, extra accommodations, even though maybe the writing is on the wall. And when we get really grounded and we go, wait a second, look, it's great to be compassionate. It's great to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But at some point in time, you also have to be discerning, and you also, have to kind of hold some kind of accountability for oneself and for others. We have the Hanged Man. So the lie versus the truth, and then these weird delays. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It does look like we have a feminine who has wondered what's been going on, why in truth has either this possibly masculine Pisces not been around, why have they not said anything? She may be trying to ask herself, you know what, does it matter? Does it matter? Is my life hinging on whether or not they take action toward me? Nah, actually, my life is the Nine of Cups. I don't really need an answer as to why they're delaying, procrastinating after all. Maybe I'm just fine. Maybe I'm just fine doing my own thing. Let them procrastinate as much as they want, as much as they need to. It really isn't my problem. My life's beautiful. I've got many other things to attend to. You know what? I kind of love that message. Unless she's telling herself that and she doesn't mean it. Now, I think she means it, because when we go from telling ourselves a story to speaking a truth and being centered and having our alignment and using that Ace of Swords to cut something free, she may be saying, I'm letting go of the idea of him ever reaching out to me. And you know what? I'm just fine with that. Now that I've faced it, maybe for a period of time, I was still telling myself the story that any day now I might hear from him. Any day he'll take action. And now she's like, okay, imagine he never does. Yeah, totally fine. In fact, it doesn't impact anything, because tomorrow I was really looking forward to, whatever, going out with friends for dinner. And if he had shown up, I don't really want to cancel the friends dinner plans, because we planned this for a month. And, 2 weeks later, I was going to take that little vacation. And if he suddenly showed up and said he wanted to do something with me, I already paid the money on my flights and everything. I don't want to cancel that. And, sometimes when we entertain the idea of, let's say something never happens for us. Imagine that alternate reality, and then say, how would I handle it? It's like, I'd be fine. In fact, I'd be really fine. In fact, I'm already really happy. And I think that brings her back around to full blown reality. I am good. My life is beautiful. I'm not actually worried about whether or not he ever gets off his duff and comes toward me, or whether or not I ever hear from this person. That is freaking amazing. Page of Swords, Nine of Swords. Oh, but he spies, he spies, he spies, he spies. And he freaks out and he spies some more. And it feels like he's building more worry in his mind the more he spies on her. So she's very much aware. And this story is very, very specific, obviously, that we have. It doesn't matter what genders we're talking about. Of course, this could be same-sex couple, reverse gender roles, doesn't matter. But obviously, in this story, whoever's playing the role of the feminine is realizing that there is whoever plays the role of a masculine procrastinating, not approaching her. And she's becoming just fine with that. It no longer matters. Whereas for him, there's more tension, there's more spying than ever, there's more, I don't know if it's because he's like about to do something, or if it's just this perpetual like, oh my God, I want to, but am I courageous enough? We have the Chariot. Maybe he's building up the courage to do it, and so it's getting more real, more scary, you know, palms are sweating more, the anticipation of actually talking to her. This could be this is like me when I haven't done like double dutch jump rope since I was a kid. You know, it used to be so easy. It was so fun. We did that all the time as kids. And you never worried about getting whacked in the face, you know, with the heavy jump ropes that have like the beads on them, you know. But if we were good at it, it was easy. It was fun. But when you don't do it for a long time and then you're faced with it and you're like, oh my God, okay. And you're trying to get the rhythm down and you're so scared to run in because you're just sure you're get smacked across the face. It feels like that's where he's at. He's just sure I'm going to run in at the wrong tempo. I'm all nervous. I'm getting more nervous. I'm not getting into the rhythm. I'm getting more freaked out because I'm about to do this. And it's like, you know, that surge of excitement / you know, worry when you're about to do something. And the reason I'm using probably the idea of like running into a jump rope is because it's not going to kill you. Big deal. It'll sting a little bit. You'll live. But you can turn it into, it's like, you know, if you've ever worn socks and you got zapped when you went to open your door, you know, you touch your doorknob and it zaps you. And then you're like, oh God, I'm so afraid to touch that door. And it's like, come on, it's really not that exaggerating, you know, extravagant a pain. You'll be fine. But you get really like gingerly touching it because you just don't want that shock. It feels like we build up little stuff into big deals sometimes. And I think that's just human nature. But that's what we see for him. That's the best way I can describe that. So he's over here getting more freaked out by the second. She's over here caring less by the second, realizing she's basically cutting this free and does not expect him to ever take any action. She believes he is, you know, just Captain Procrastinator, and that's okay. She's fine. Universe, do you want to weigh in? Sideways card says Temperance sideways. In a certain way, everybody needs to come into peace and calm. Her peace and calm is that it doesn't matter anymore. He doesn't seem like he's found peace and calm about him taking action yet, but the universe is like, probably nothing should happen until everybody's dialed into the same energy of peace. I think up until this point in time, she was probably having a lot of tension over this. Let me just ask, Feminine, how have you been feeling about all this? 5 of Pentacles, she was feeling like, I mean, she may have had plenty of nights where she was, you know, drinking a little too much, crying, talking to a friend again and again and again over him. She may have felt really sad. She may have, you know, run amok a little bit. Whoever's closest to her possibly knows just how bent out of shape she's been over this, how much of a loss has felt to her for a long time. She might have been really, really sad about this, really wounded over this for a long time, feeling like she, you know, this is the love of my life. I can't get over him. Why doesn't he look at this 9 of Swords? She was in grief, in pain, in stress. She spent, these cards are so, like the depiction of sorrow is so heartfelt. You can just so, you know, like commiserate with her and just feel how she felt. But we're also seeing her break free from that. Oh, she also went through rage, anger. So it kind of like the stages of grief is kind of what this looks like, you know, the loss, the sorrow, the, you know, feeling vulnerable, the huge stress, and then the anger. It looks like she went through all of that. And that's maybe why we have her coming to the place of peace. Ooh, and then she decided he's probably a liar and a cheat. Okay. He doesn't care about anybody's feelings. He's just super selfish. He doesn't care about anybody because, and that's when she got mad. He's just a Knight of Wands. She told herself a bunch of stuff. And remember, we started out with the lies. When we lie to ourselves because we're trying to make sense of something that hurts and we can't make sense of it, and we go through all of that range of emotion of this, you know, this huge loss, this huge stress, this huge anger, this huge assumption, like none of that was necessarily based in truth. But what else was she supposed to wrap her head around when she didn't have communication? So we can certainly see that this feminine has gone through the entire range of emotions and thoughts. And now we land on the Emperor for her. She's okay without them. She has instead chalked them up to the truth, which is, all I know for sure about them is that they haven't come toward me. That's it. Whether they're procrastinating or whether they don't want to come toward me or whether I kind of think she knows that they still think about her. She's got to know with this Hanged Man, because it's not a 10 of Swords. It's not like she's saying, oh, it's over, I'll never hear from them. She's saying, I don't actually care if I ever hear from them anymore. What I know, the only thing I know about them is that I know they had emotion from me, but they have not come back toward me. They have postponed, they have procrastinated. That's the only thing I know. And I'm okay with them procrastinating for the rest of our lives if that's what they need to do, because I'd like an Emperor instead. An Emperor doesn't procrastinate. So she went through all of these assumptions, all of this hurt, all this pain, all this loneliness, all of this anger to arrive at, who the fuck cares? I'd rather have an Emperor anyway. Look, I'm sorry I dropped the F-bomb on that one because I don't think it's to be mean or nasty. I don't think it's just like, F it. Doesn't matter anymore. I'd rather have an Emperor anyway. Somebody that doesn't procrastinate. Whatevs. Doesn't matter. Interestingly enough, over here for him, we have spying, watching, stressing. I'm going to come forward. Oh my God, here I go. Oh my God, I'm so freaked out. Let me spy a little bit more before I move forward. Oh my God. Like on his side, procrastination is right. Let me just ask, how are you seeing this? What's all your stress about? Let's start there. Inspiration of Cups in the reverse. I don't know that I can come in and say sorry. I don't know that a sorry will cut it. I don't know that I can say sorry. Action of Cups. I just want to come in as a Knight of Cups. I want to come in with some kind of love offer. I don't want to come in and say sorry. Can I backtrack? What's the, I don't want to come in and say sorry? Two of Cups, Eight of Wands. How do I say sorry when this was such an important connection? We're so far beyond that. How do I say sorry to my Two of Cups, to the person that I should have, clearly been racing toward? I mean, what the hell is that? Hey, sorry, you're the love of my life and I didn't talk to you. I can't say that. But you think coming in as a Knight is better? I'm sorry, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm all sassy on this one, aren't I? Jeez. Kate, 10 of Cups. It's not that he's coming in to say, I want to just come in as just a Knight. It's that it's like, look, I have to lay the groundwork to show her what I could offer with that 10 of Cups. I have to show her how happy I could make her. So I want to woo and date her. The Knight of Cups is the person that we date, and it's like, I want to, whatever, show her wonderful dates and roses and, romance and all this and make her see that this 10 of Cups. But my God, I can't come in and say, I'm sorry. I know who you are to me. I can't say sorry because that's too little for how important this is. Instead, what I need to do is come in and somehow just woo you and make you fall for me and make you see how happy I'll make you. But why did you not already? If she's this important to you, what was the procrastination dealio? Hermit. Well, I needed to be all by myself for a chunk of time. I ignored everything and everyone to just go on my inner journey. I was in hermit mode. Okay, what was your inner journey about that you couldn't actually be there for her and you just cut her out and it didn't matter whatever happened to her in this time that you were oh so busy elsewhere just doing you? Sorry, I know. I am not being very, I'm asking, like, I'm the big mean friend that has been like in this storyline. I feel like I am this person. I am the one who had to sit with her while she cried, many nights and make sure she got home safe. And I'm thinking, dude, I can't stand you. Why did you do this to her? Excuse me. Why did you not? Do you know how much hurt you caused her? Like, I am that attitude, that friend right now who doesn't, I'm going to ask all the tough questions because I don't like it. Because I feel like, oh, how great. So you went off and you did your little hermit's journey. Convenient that you can cut everybody out, not worry about them, not worry about how many nights she was messed up over you, cried over you. Convenient but it was all about you. We're way more important. Like, I'm such a jerk right now. I'm just not having any of it. We have the Magician. The Magician here is to answer, because here I'm asking questions and then I'll sassy and won't let him answer. He's like, I had to like figure out how I could manifest better in my life. I had to take charge of my own life. I had to get my own life in my own hands. I had to sort out some old wounds of my own. I had to heal my own stuff. So I had something to offer. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to be that person who is just going to accept that, because I still can't wrap my head around that. I need more details. If you're going to win over this big mean friend who is standing between you and this person that you claim to love oh so much, but I watched her go through all this hurt and pain, you're going to have to win me over big time. How did I put myself into this fictional story, you guys? We got the Strength card and the Star. They're trying to, I mean, come on, they're arguing right back with me pretty good, right? All major arcanas. It's like, listen, I had a lot of stuff I had to revamp in myself. I had to be strong enough. I can't have my wishes, my hopes, my dreams, my Two of Cups person in my life if I don't think I can offer them anything. I had to strengthen who I am. I had to heal stuff. I mean, now I have so much to offer. Now I have so much to say. Now I have so much I can be there. But my question is still, but why didn't you like explain any of this before? Because she went through quite a bit of hell, is what it looks like. Oh gosh, well, I was protecting her from my problems, my mess. See, this is actually me being really good to her. She was the innocent doe, and I was protecting her from, the rain and the sunburn and all of that, right? Now here's the thing. I have to quit being so sassy and say this is actually the hand of the divine coming in, and it is very possible that she did need to be protected from whatever they were at one point in time. Let me just ask this. Did you make her promises and then withdraw on them and go into hermit mode? Because here's what I don't really get is, why was she so wounded over them unless they had already made overtures toward her, tried to lay a foundation, and then just like backed off, disappeared, and went into hermit mode, right? Because here's the thing. I've been like, obviously, the sassy friend over here asking the tough questions, but admittedly, she's responsible for how she feels. If she got her heart set on somebody and, but he's supposed to be my person, why isn't he coming toward me? Well, why do you, I'll be just as rude and say, why do you think you deserve to say, just because I want him and I have a sense that he wants me, that it has to be now, and it has to be on my time, and it has to be, you have to give me what I deserve, because in truth, nobody has to give us anything. So does she really have a right to feel all these feels? Well, here's what I would say. If somebody made big promises, then they went and disappeared and did a 180 and ghosted, then yes, I think she has every right to feel that way. But let me just ask, did you make overtures to her and then disappear on her? Because I'm not really getting why there's all this tremendous pain and hurt if this thing wasn't really getting off the ground at first. Oh, okay. So they did, though. We've got the Ace of Cups and we have the Lovers. Oh, yeah. Hook, line, and sinker. Like I came toward her. I said all the words, maybe the L word, the love word. I said all of it. Yeah, I said I was in love. I said all. Okay, then bastard. Sorry. Sorry. This is no good. You can't do all that and then freak out and go, no, I need to be alone. You probably should have had some self-reflection before you tried giving her all of these lovely words and promises and then doing that 180 and disappearing, because that just seems really cruel, really mean, and it seems calculated. I get he's saying I wasn't, but I'm still saying, well, at minimum, they were extremely irresponsible with something as important as heart. So I don't know. How am I supposed to think that you're so changed now? Because why didn't you know this before? 9 of Wands. I was wounded warrior. Everything felt like a predator. Love felt like a predator. I was afraid of it. I freaked out. I gave love. I said love, and then I freaked out. Okay, so they definitely shouldn't have been. This is the person who should not have had car keys yet, because they hadn't gone through the training to learn how to drive. And yet they had the keys to a really nice sports car. They shouldn't have. They were way in over their heads. But it's like, but oh my God, I was so in love with her. This card has 2 lovers cards, one feminine, one masculine. And it's like, but I mean, I was so drawn to her and she was so drawn to me. And it was, she was the one. I mean, I can see why this would have been a 2 of Cups relationship, and also why somebody who was already wobbly and not like healed enough then meets like the person for them, and then goes into like, oh my God, I love them, and oh my God, I'm freaking out, and runs away. Like, I can understand it, but it doesn't kind of undo the fact that that was really hurtful. But I will say this, they've already done all this, right? This whole story has already played out, and she's gotten to the point where she's gone full circle, gone through all of the grieving process, the anger, the everything, and she's come to the F it, my life's pretty damn good anyway, whatever. I already know he's somewhere out there still procrastinating. I'm not even bothered by it anymore. She's kind of become very matter of fact. Instead of saying, oh, he's a cheater, he's a liar, he messed with my head, blah, blah, blah. She went through all that. Now I think she's way more truthful with herself. And she's like, he's still out there thinking of me somewhere. And my life's just fine without him. She's in like, it's not even acceptance. It's very matter of fact. So I don't probably have to be that protective friend in this story, because she's fine at this point. She got to the place where she probably should have been a long time ago. Meanwhile, he's just getting to the place he should have been a long time ago, before giving a proclamation of love only to steal his heart back and run away into the night, into the darkness, and hide out in the cellar for God knows how long. This is just one of those stories where it's like, I get why an apology would be falling so far short of what you would need to say. Instead, he's like, I just want to show her what I can offer now. And I'm kind of thinking, though, well, you already said all these lovey-dovey things and then dipped. So I get he's saying, I want to be an action taker, though, now, and show her. But that's also probably why he's been so scared to move forward toward her, because what I did was say something, then dip. Now I want to come back in and I want to show her what I should have been before. And I'm freaking out about that. How do I show her I'm so serious, I'm so real, you can really count on me? Everything I said before, that was all real. Can you forget the part where I ran away from you? Because that part, it's not that that wasn't real too, but I wasn't running from you. I was running back into myself. Can you forget the part where I ran back into myself? Because now I want all the stuff I said to you before, how I love you, that's all still really real. This is where actions versus emotions, actions count louder than words or emotions. However, when it comes to love, when it comes to, look, I know you don't always do the thing because you're not really strong enough to do the thing that you should do, even if I know that your emotions are there. I'm wondering if maybe the one reason maybe this could still work is because she's in the F it kind of attitude. Look, my life's just as fine without you. And I know you're still lingering out there somewhere, still thinking about me. The fact that she got to that truth, we do have the Chariot as our final card. And this is 2 dolphins swimming forward. Because she came full circle and is just like, whatever, if they're still dealing with their ish, let them clean their own dirty laundry before they come back into my world. Yeah, I know they're nuts about me, and I also know they ran off. They got to go do the thing that they got to go do. If they show back up, they better show up clean, right, smelling good, looking good, and ready to give me a really good time. It almost feels like that's her attitude now. This could move forward now. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the story. I don't like it at all, but I can still say I get why this comes full circle. And if she wants to give this another whirl, another go round, I guess I could see how with this newfound attitude, all of this could work, because this says, look, I've moved on also. And I also know some other truth in the midst of this. Remember, it began with truth from her. Truth is, I want an emperor anyway. So whether he shows up or not, if he's not an emperor, she's not taking the bite anyway. She'll be way more discerning, way more picky. If she doesn't like what he's walking in with, she's not even going to be tempted. She's not going to give him the time of day. It'll be like, yeah, thanks. Oh, you love me. That's fine. But you don't look like an emperor, so I'm going to go ahead and still, it's a hard pass for me. But she's not going to do it to be mean or to be vindictive. She's just going to be straightforward. She only wants emperors now. I almost think that that matter-of-fact attitude is actually the reason this could work out. Because it's like, hey, if you weren't the emperor before, it probably wouldn't have been any good anyway. So, oh, are you an emperor now? Okay, let's give it a whirl. Speaking of emperors, or maybe tyrannical little dogs, little stumpy dogs who, oh gosh, we were outside a ton today and I got way overheated. My headache is finally lifted, but I did not feel good. We were out till like 2 last night. I didn't get home till 2, and then I slept in this morning and then immediately had to get outside and do some stuff, and then I got roasted. And he was outside laying in the shade, but that still wasn't enough outside time for him. So I got to go take the baby out. I'll be back. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Lots of love. Really good to see you guys. All right, take care. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye. I'm coming.